We have a developing story. Lebanese state media are reporting that several people have been killed and many more injured in fresh explosions of communication devices. Now, this time, walkie-talkies used by the Hezbollah militant group exploded, including near a funeral for some of the 12 people who were killed Tuesday when thousands.
This is unbelievable, guys. Like at first we thought that this is insane. This is a Hollywood movie. So the day before it, just pagers and Hezbollah members holding pagers in their pockets, they just all freaking exploded. All exploded. And this, Hezbollah uses pagers because they're afraid of using smartphones because they know Israel can track those, so they use pagers, right? I don't know. You guys know what pagers are, right? These are like, some of you are young, you have no idea what the hell these things are. It's a one-way communication that you can. It's kind of like text, but it's one way. You receive it, but you cannot, send anything back. So they're basically going back into the Stone Ages, trying to communicate with each other because they can't use smartphones. And somehow, I mean, we could discuss how Israel managed to find a way to make those go boom boom, right? Taking out a lot of eggs, and I will explain, and eyes, to be honest, and I will tell you why the eyes part is actually very significant. Taking out eggs, I mean, read in between the lines. That's very significant and poetic, but also eyes. I will tell you why that's very important that they took out eyes as well, right? But then we thought what the hell? Israel again, another record in history, and first time ever. This is everything Israel does is just a new chapter in military warfare. Like they're basically creating new chapters of things that have been never done before. It's unbelievable that how they managed to get this done. But as if that was not miraculous enough, the next days the walkie-talkies were exploding. What the and now, like, there are other stuff, the stuff that they use to check your fingerprints, solar panels, laptops. They're just all going boom boom in Lebanon, and Hezbollah. Hezbollah members do not know what to do. They're afraid of electronics now. So now listen to this.
Thousands of pagers exploded. The Iran-backed militant group had been using the devices in hopes of avoiding Israeli surveillance of their mobile phones.
All right, so this footage I cannot show. Hold on. I'm not showing explosions.
The 12 people who were killed Tuesday when thousands of pagers exploded.
Okay, so he showed it. Do you see that? Do you see the pager exploding? And Roy was talking to me earlier. He was saying, like, look, the amount of explosions are the perfect amount. People so close to him, they didn't get injured. You see, this is a Hezbollah member, and we know he's a Hezbollah member because he's holding one of those pagers. There's no use for pagers in modern days, okay, unless you're a Hezbollah, right? So you can see this is in Lebanon. It's in a vegetable store and fruit store, and you can see this man with the hat. He's a Hezbollah member, and you can see two people standing so close to him. Nothing happened to them. Nothing happened to them. They didn't even get injured, and the pagers exploding specifically takes out, like, their perfect amount for taking out the individual that is holding them, and even people that are are basically in close proximity to him. Nothing happens to them. Look at this.
Exploded. The Iran-backed militant group had been used.
Nobody has heard other than the Hezbollah member. Mwah! Beautifully done, Israel. I understand this is an operation done by the IDF and Mossad and a whole bunch of other groups at the same time. No involvement from the United States. I know that we have to recognize and appreciate the United States defending Israel, but let's also celebrate how Israel by its own is incapable in intelligence and carrying out operations like this. This is unbelievable. This is masterfully done.
Using the devices in hopes of avoiding Israeli surveillance of their mobile phones. Security sources claim Israel is responsible for these sophisticated attacks that appear to have been months in the making.
Yeah. It's so beautiful that their pagers are held in their pockets, which is basically close to their jewels, right? This is worse than death for these people. These people's manhood is everything to them. That we're talking about a patriarchal society, that your manhood, your manliness is more important than your freaking life. This is why if a female member of their family does something sexual or promiscuous, they go out of their way to maybe even like kill or punish them. Honor killing is a thing, because then the manlyhood of you as the head of the family is being challenged. So these people value their manliness more than their own lives. So many of them having their jewels blown off is actually a greater punishment than actually than deleting them as a whole. So let's continue. So there's two main injuries. One of them basically their eggs blowing up, and the other one is because apparently I'm not sure about this, because these pages were making a beep beep sound before they went boom boom. A lot of them took it and looked at it, and it basically went boom boom in their face, and they were blinded. They were blinded. And again, a lot of Iranians are considering this poetic justice. And let me know if you know why. Let me know in the chat if you understand why a lot of them going blind is considered poetic justice by many Iranians.
All right, I want to go now to our Beirut bureau chief, Mohammed Schrader. Mohammed, new explosions. This is a developing story. What more can you tell us?
A fresh wave of explosions hit Lebanon a while ago when a number of handheld radios used by Hezbollah militants detonated. At least one of the blasts took place near a funeral organized by the group for those killed in the previous day explosions. More explosions have been reported in different locations across the country. Preliminary information suggests that walkie-talkies in walkie-talkie devices that are different from yesterday's pagers detonated in houses, offices and cars across the country, causing a number of casualties which we haven't been able to identify and verify yet.
This has been described as a humiliating moment for Hezbollah. Talk to me about...
Guys, as I'm speaking, the Iranians are sending me more memes and funny videos on Telegram. I'm just watching them. I'm gonna show them to you guys, and I'm just laughing because I'm getting more updates on Telegram as as I'm watching this. But yeah, this is so. He's saying this is so humiliating to Hezbollah. You don't say. You don't say. You don't, guys. There's one side that just barks, 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 and then when it comes to action, there's nothing. There's nothing from the Islamic Republic and Hezbollah. There is nothing. And then from the other side, Israel keeps every time they impress us to the point they were like, okay, this was the top thing. This was it. It will never get better than this. And then it keeps getting better. It keeps getting better. First, when they took out the S300 in Natanz, close to Isfahan, we're like, holy crap! How did Israel do that? I'm not just impressed, guys. Military experts. I'm watching military analysis, and the military experts, their jaws were dropped when Israel took the S300 in Natanz from outside Iranian borders without even the S300 noticing that it's coming. Then they took out Fouad Shokr. Well, then they took out Ismail Hania. That was a first in history. Everybody was like, even military experts, like, okay, what the hell? How do you have this level of intelligence? What did they use? Everybody was figuring, how is Israel doing these things? Then when they took out Fouad Shokr, the guy was not even on the level of the apartment that they could reach him. Somehow they managed to call him and convince him to change the floor, and then they took him out. We're like, wow, who do you have? Huh? What? And now this, are you serious? Just like so thousands of Hezbollahs just going boom in 1 second, all at the same time in Lebanon. Are you serious? This is insane. And look at the other side. The Islamic Republic sends 300 missiles and drones to Israel. Not a single person dies. Not a single person. Like 300 missiles and drones could not do what Israeli pagers were doing. Israeli pagers are taking out more of their people than their missiles and drones. And okay, to be honest, Hezbollah did manage. We have confirmation on this channel that at least one chicken died. We have confirmation that when Hezbollah attacked Israel, I think more than one chicken. Unfortunately, I'm I'm serious. This is sad. Israeli chickens do matter. Every Israeli chicken's life is more important to us than the lives of the entirety of Hezbollah. Of course, they're Israeli chickens, right? And I could also confirm that there was one Israeli chicken that was extremely nervous. So there was some significant damage, over there. However, we did manage to take out your eggs, right? Israel, you took out Israeli chickens. Israel took out your eggs. So okay, so but yeah, let's continue.
How it's impacting Hezbollah's ability to operate.
Well, there's no doubt that this has massively disrupted Hezbollah's operations and command and control system. It is believed that hundreds, if not thousands, of Hezbollah's militants will be out of service at least for some time.
Yeah, well, guys, this is it's not just a humiliation for Hezbollah. It's how are you going to operate now? So you can't use phones, you can't use laptops, you cannot use walkie-talkies, you cannot use pagers. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I mean, it's either smoke signals or pigeons now, right? How are you going to manage your operation? I'm serious, guys. Somebody tell me, how is Hezbollah going to manage their operations if they cannot rely on electronics anymore?
To injuries. This operation today and yesterday obviously aimed to cut the means of communication between Hezbollah's operatives and to pose direct harm to the group personnel, but also to cause moral damage to the party members and supporters, to break the trust that the militant group is capable of fighting and then keeping up against Israel. I think that Hezbollah will need some time to digest these events and find alternatives to restore its communication and its
Okay, somebody, Benny was saying, how is this possible? So apparently, Israel has, these are pagers or other electronics that Hezbollah ordered from wherever, and Israel had managed to somehow get in the middle of the, the sale and managed to somehow, before they were transferred to Hezbollah. I don't know, either Israel made these themselves and acted like they're the company selling this to them, or somehow they managed to get in the middle of the transfer and put the explosives into these devices, and Hezbollah were carrying out walkie-talkies and pagers that Israel has managed to put explosives in for one day, maybe exploding them when the time comes. So apparently that's how this is all possible. So it's very impressive how they managed to do that. And the mission is saying, among civilians, isn't that terroristy? No, it's not terroristy at all. These are pagers specifically for Hezbollah members. And the explosions were designed in a way, the explosives were the right amount that has minimal damage to the people around, to the person around holding the pager. So this is one of the most effective targeted attacks with minimum collateral damage. I mean, there's always going to be collateral damage, but what you have to do is to try to minimize it. You can never eliminate it, but when it comes to effectiveness in reducing collateral damage, this was one of the most masterfully designed attacks I've ever seen in my freaking life, right? So, and also we have super chat. I'm going to keep this for later, but the Oracle of Whimsy is saying an eye for an eye. I'm going to keep this super chat for later because this will become more relevant. Yeah, we're going full biblical. Yeah, we'll see. Well, I will bring that super chat back at some point.
Command and control system, but also to restore the morals of its operatives and supporters.
Yes, guys, this is another. So it's not just that they took out Hezbollah members. A lot of them who are injured, they cannot fight anymore. They're going to be a cost to the family and to Hezbollah community as a whole. They're going to be alive. They're going to be draining on Hezbollah without actually being able to be fighters. Two, they don't know they're afraid of technology right now. They don't know what technology to trust. I don't know how they're going to carry out their operations when they cannot rely on basic electronics. Three, the level of self-confidence and morale has dropped. They have been humiliated. And anybody who understands warfare even a little bit, you don't have to be an expert, but even if you just watch movies enough, you understand how much morale matters in winning fights. And their morale is below zero. Is freaking insanity. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I almost feel bad for them until I remember that these are terrorists we're talking about, right? So I'm getting this close to feeling bad. I'm like, no, these are monsters. These are monsters. But yeah, let's continue.
Are completely shocked by the scale of these attacks.
Yeah, despite this shock, we are hearing that Hezbollah is blaming Israel for the attacks, and they've already carried out the first cross-border attacks. What do we know about this apparent retaliation?
Well, Hezbollah so far claimed 3 attacks, at least, on Israel this afternoon. In a brief statement this morning, the militant group vowed to continue the daily operation, the daily routine cross-border shelling with Israel as part of what the party calls a supporting front for Gaza. On a separate note, the party vowed to retaliate to yesterday's massive security
You got the same way that you retaliated for Shoker?
breach and attacks, but did not.
Unbelievable. Oh yeah, we will retaliate. We will retaliate. Well quickly. If you're so slow in retaliating that you don't know we don't even know which one you're retaliating for anymore, because they're piling up. Before you get around to retaliating for one, then the next thing happens.
Provide details about the nature of the retaliation. You know, the confrontation between the two rivals is based on a deterrence equation, and after these attacks there's a general feeling that there's some sort of imbalance in this, and Hezbollah is perceiving this as an attempt to break this equation. So we're
Oh yeah, Hezbollah is like, oh hey, what you're making us look very weak, and now you're so strong, and we're so weak. So the balance has gone. Can we bring the balance back? The balance back, meaning like you want Israel to act to make you stronger or act like they're weaker. What are you talking? Like, this is so insane. Hezbollah is like, oh, this whole thing, we had a balance between Israel and us, and now that balance is gone. Can we bring the balance back? So basically, you're saying that we're being defeated and humiliated, and you're asking your enemies to please grape me a little bit less softer, please. Like it's too like they're basically asking, instead of trying to defeat their enemy, they're asking them to just like, hey, can you just chill out a bit? Their war tactic of Hezbollah is asking Israel to respect the balance. Amazing tactic, Hezbollah. Let's see if it works.
just anticipating how the military.
I mean, you guys. Yeah, I mean, you F around. You guys like were. What happened? What happened to destroying Israel, wiping Israel off the map? Like, hey, oh, we're gonna annihilate Israel, and then like, can we restore the balance, please? We're looking very weak. Oh yeah, okay. So when it actually comes to taking action, you guys are now begging. When it comes to just barking, you guys are so powerful. You're gonna annihilate Israel. But now, when it comes to actual in the field, looking at what you're made of, like now you're on. Oh, can we restore balance? Oh, can we bring peace now? Can we have ceasefire? What happened to annihilating Israel? What happened to annihilating Israel? What? Why would the Islamic Republic, Hamas, and Hezbollah, who have the goal to annihilate Israel and claim that they're capable of doing so, why wouldn't they want ceasefire? This is your chance. This is your chance. Go ahead. You go ahead. You said you were preparing for this for the past 40 years. Show us what you're made of. Unbelievable.
militant group would respond.
Our Bureau Chief Mohammed Shreita with the latest from Beirut. Mohammed, thank you.